What's happening? It's Coach Jen. Welcome to another workout. One of the number one things that often is overlooked with fitness is forward progression without injury. We get so caught up in the progression part that we're not worrying about care and really taking care of the body parts that actually inhibit us from moving forward. So today, and by popular demand, I've been having a lot of messages come through regarding hip mobility and lower back pain, and it's no surprise that these two are tied together, okay? So what we're gonna do is less of a sweat workout, but more of a mobility and opener and pain relief session. I would guess if I used my crystal ball, this should take no more than 10 to 15 minutes total. We are going to jump right in. All you need is, I would like a mat because we're going to do some floor work, and you're going to need one towel. So I'm going to grab one from my kitchen. Something this long should be totally fine. A longer one is great. Ultimately, this will make sense in a second. But let's just get started. I want to work on something I learned actually at XPT, and it is a hip opener that allows us to start to get, like, kind of earn your body's open and closed position. So essentially, I want you to start. Women, it's just like going to our doctor. Men, welcome to the party. We're going to be right here, really nice and tight, and you want to feel a compression. So everybody kind of settle in right here, feel your sit bones. If you can't sit up like this, put your hands back, but try to bring your heels close to your hips. What we have to understand is with mobility, we have to earn the right to go the distance. So if we can't move through a line of a pathway, right, a range of motion in control, your body won't let you kind of maintain that mobility. So a great way to think about it, and again, go a little bit deeper, bring your hips even closer to your heels, and if you can, and your hands are forward, sit here just about 20 more seconds. So if you think about, like, I did gymnastics as a kid, they would push us into our splits. That's forced flexibility, and so when I would actually go for the splits and the movements, I wouldn't actually be able to hit the positions because they were forcing me into that mobility versus me earning the mobility through my own strength, which we're gonna work on today. If I just blew your mind, don't worry, just do the movements and you'll feel better. So what we're gonna do now is we have our hands forward. I'm gonna let both knees fall to the side. Pick whichever side you want. I prefer you to be my mirror. So if I turned left, you'll be turning right. And what you see is this is a 90-90 position that's used in all kinds of ground training, karate, martial arts, all kinds of stuff. So we're gonna start here. Our hands are gonna be up like this. Again, if you need that kickstand and back, it's okay. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna open up your left knee and you're gonna go up, up, up. Notice how my other side is staying down. You're actively working, right? Earning the range of motion, opening, opening. Last minute, the other leg comes forward. We're right here at center, and we bring it all the way down. So since we're active and in control of the range of motion, same thing back, we're able to actually earn the mobility. You're gonna find one side pivots better than the other. Again, the hands can go behind you if you needed to. This is that Sharon Stone moment for everyone. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the movie Basic Instinct and you'll catch on. So now what we've got, again, keep the separation. The knees are apart, knees are apart, knees are apart. From here, we're gonna add on. So this is level one, and this is where you stay if you need to. Otherwise, we come here, we hit that 90-90, and we push up onto our hip, and we're extended like so. And I'm actually gonna move back a little bit so you can see me fully on camera. So we're here, we're squeezing our hips, we're reaching, we're bringing our hips down. Same opening moment, 90-90, driving up to the knee, boom, once again. Complete tension on your hip and butt, pushing your hip forward nice and tall. Let's hit that one more time each side. This 90-90 pivot should start feeling better and better. We're coming up. The more you squeeze your butt, the more you get to open that hip flexor and psoas. Psoas is that funny word, P-S-O-A-S, and it's the one muscle that actually connects your upper body to your lower body, so it's got a big job. So now, right here we're gonna add on. If those first two levels are good for you, keep doing that with me, get the reps in. Otherwise, you go with me, we're gonna turn hip to hip. We're gonna be up to here, and we're gonna bring our foot through into a lunge, okay? We're gonna bring it back down, This is key, the return. Hip comes forward, hit the 90-90, rotating, opening, opening. Prop it up in that pigeon pose, come to one knee, return, and come down. In my mind, I would want you to pause this and do that 2 or 3 more times. We're gonna keep progression for anybody even more advanced. Everything's here. You pop up to that pigeon, grab the knee, and then this one you're gonna stabilize on one leg. You're gonna drop back to your single knee. The leg swoops around and back, hit the pigeon, drop the hips, 90-90. Hit your Sharon Stone. This is a flow. Now we're 90-90. We're up. We're in lunge. One long leg. We've got limited space in our houses. It's okay. Drop back to the knee. Drop back to the pigeon. Down to your hip. 90-90. And center. So ideally, give yourself a minute right here. We're hitting 3 to 4 rounds in each position, okay? That's the way I'd like you to do this. So take that. It's a really great way to get going. You might start rounded. You might not start the exercise feeling really good, but by the end, you will. And what's fun to look at as I stop, you can see I actually ended exactly where I started. Sometimes you'll find you'll start centered and you'll end up over here. It's totally fine, and it's totally okay. It just means one side is a bit tighter than the other. So anyway, that was exercise set 1. So a great way to go about that is I will do, 2 to 4 passes here with my 90s, 2 to 4 passes coming up to pigeon, 2 to 4 passes to lunge or standing, and then I work way back down. So that's layer 1, and you'll be surprised how the hip opening affects your lower back so much. Now, series number 2, if you joined any of my Facebook a while back, you will see this exercise in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay on your back, and we're going to take this towel and put it under the arch of your foot. Now notice I have no shoes on. I'm doing this on purpose. I want the mobility and the openness in my feet. You can absolutely wear tennis shoes, but definitely wash this towel afterwards. So bring your leg in and kind of put the towel around your foot. So see how it pulls my upper body up a little? That's okay. And what I'm looking for is not my knee to be locked out, but a little tension in the knee. My quad is on fire, my other quad is on fire, and I am just going to bring, using the towel, support my leg up as high as I can. Some of you may be right here. That's totally fine. Once you find your spot of tension, you're going to release the towel and hold it on your own. Again, just like I mentioned earlier, if you can control the range of motion, you get to own it. So now we're right here. I was a little bit higher. We're going to hold for a moment. And we're going to breathe in as your leg lowers. As you get there, make sure your quads are both on, butts, your glutes are lit, and then exhale, and the foot comes up center. So what we're doing is we're resetting our hamstrings to low back just a little bit. Breathing in on the way down, getting your own rhythm. Look for me for form. Exhaling on the way up. We're going to do about 6 each side. So go here. And keep in mind, I just want you steady and feeling long out of the joint. A lot of times we have back pain because we just have a firing dysfunction with our body and the muscle and the order of which those muscles fire. So this is going to help us open some of that up and realign. Last one. And bring the leg down. Switch over to the other leg. Again. And you should already kind of feel it good in that leg when you're gonna pull your body up now with this other leg. Like, oh man, this leg's tight. Totally normal. We'll get to what the other one is. So again, slight bend in the knee, squeeze the quad, use the towel to support you. My feet are flexed, my butt cheeks are flexing. Slide the towel away and hold where you can here. Now breathing in on the way down, up on the way up, or out on the way up. This seems so elementary. I'm telling you, just 10 minutes, 15 minutes in your day. It resets you so much, and I'm forcing you to breathe with it. We're most malnourished in breath than anything else. More malnourished in air than we are in water, in food, anything. Most of us anyways. Not a blanket statement. Give me one more. Breathing in on the up, keeping the quads flexed, breathing out on the way down. So you're gonna rest here, we're gonna hit one more set of 6 each side. And just so you know, if 6 feels good, do sets of 8. If 8 feels good, do sets of 10. But 2 sets of, 6 to 10 each side, or even 3 sets are ideal. We're gonna bring that towel back in, get the other side. You're gonna find your range of motion is improved. Mine certainly is just after those 6 reps. Release the towel and flex, and look at my quad. It's squeezing as hard as I can because it's gonna help let my hamstring know how far it should go. If I relax my quad, I take my hamstring out of a range of motion that it's in control of, and therefore we're missing the purpose here. Okay, so we're squeezing both sides, breathing in, and exhaling out. Now when I go down, I feel a little tension in my lower back. A level 1 or a level 2 is okay, but if you were bracing and you were holding your breath, it's too far. So as you go down, if you start to break, just pause, stop there, bring it right back. My friend Kelly Starrett, Supple Leopard, he's a founder of the Ready State. He always says, we're not gonna fix it today, but we're gonna work on it today. And that's what we're doing right here. Constant tension in those quads. Don't give up here. Last one. Excellent. Other side. Here we go. Arch of the foot has got the towel. Mobility should feel even better. I'm actually even about 6 inches higher than I was before. I squeeze my quad. I flex my feet. I remove the towel and back in it with me. This is a very different class than normal. Usually we're doing sets and reps and we're pumping and we're pushing. But like I said, this is just as important. Even on the days, let's say I program a crazy fun leg day and you were like, Jen, I just don't have the energy. Do this instead. That's why I'm putting all of these tutorials right on YouTube so you can use them at any time you want, at any point you need a workout. And the days I don't want to move are the most important times that I do. I go out and I walk, I jog, and I do this little bit of movement and my body and my mind stays connected to it. Last one, breathing in. All the way up through, exhaling, get that foot close to your face, and relax. Take your knees in a ball, and I want you to run little circles clockwise on your sacrum. This should feel nice. Little massage and reverse direction. We're gonna rock up. Last 2 items. And we're gonna basically sit in a cross leg fold. So wherever you're at, I know people that can get their knees flush and completely sideways, and then my knee is all the way up here. So it doesn't matter. Get as crossed as you can, even if you have a foot like this. And I want you to just first start with a little bit of a compression. So if you're pulling like this, or you're compressing down, we're gonna start here, and you're gonna get really tall. This is the 3rd and final pair. And you're gonna feel it, the top leg being stretched the most. The ground and the gravity is a really great way to improve that mobility around your hips and low back. And as you stand tall, I want you to slightly round forward, long spine, reaching, folding over those legs, and now you should feel it in both your hips. Not holding our breath, breathing through it. If you're bracing, just pull out of that posture just a little bit. On your last breath, just sink and round. Don't hold any tension in your body, especially your neck. Breathe in. Expand your diaphragm to push your ribs back. And exhale. Start to kind of gently come up. Beautiful job. Unwind those legs. We got to get the other side and you're free to go. This kind of work should feel lovely. It should feel like a pleasure. It's like, I needed that. It should be a good stretch, a good pain. So my left side's even less flexible than my right. So starting here, again, getting your sit bones on the ground and allowing that top leg to open first. Sometimes I'll just rock a little bit forward. And again, if you're here even, totally okay. Find that happy spot to start in. And when you're ready, placing your hand by your sides, nice and tall, round forward with length. I know that sounds confusing, but it's what I want. We're not bracing, we're breathing. Reaching your hands forward gently as you can. It should only feel a level 1 to 3 discomfort. And on your last one, really get soft, round the spine. Rest your head even if you need to. Expand your ribs backwards. Breathe in. Holding and exhaling. And gently coming up. Now listen guys, this was a short, easy sequence that can be done anytime, anywhere with zero equipment. If you have low back pain, if you've been sedentary or you're just not moving around as much, this is game changing. I like to do it right before bed. It always actually makes me a little sleepy, but it's also great in the morning. Or if you are working from home, it's a great reset in your day. If you've just been on your computer and you're cranking, I'll literally walk outside for 5 minutes, do this. An abbreviated version will even work, and then you're ready to rock with the rest of your day. So thanks for joining. I'll see you soon. Mwah.